Okay, so the first thing what we do is like better we'll discuss about report triggers, okay, and then we'll get into master detail report. So
Okay.
yeah. Yeah. So we would like to discuss about report triggers and as well as format triggers in RDF report. And we also have the same report triggers in the XML report also. Okay, but we'll discuss it later. So what is a trigger? The keyword trigger, we already have in the database also. Okay, so triggering is nothing but a sensing of an event, right? Sensing an event is trigger, right? So whenever you raise an event, a trigger will get fired. Nothing but trigger senses the event. Trigger senses the event. So nothing but, let us say, if you consider our database triggers, you have like a after insert, after update, or after delete, or before update, before delete, something like this, right? So these are all triggers which are available in the database level. In the same way, in the RDF report also, we have some set of triggers. There are 5 triggers which are available. Okay, before parameter, after parameter, between pages, before report and after report. There are 5 report triggers which are available, and each is having its own set of functionality. So generally, like this particular functionality will be used when you are trying to design a report based on the like a PL SQL logic or maybe a GTT based concept. So in those scenarios, we always prefer to use this particular like triggers. So what we do is we'll just try to analyze when these particular triggers are getting fired. Okay, and later on we'll try to work on the GTT approach.
Okay.
Okay, so now what we do is to demonstrate the purpose of these particular triggers. First of all, we'll try to design a very simple report. Okay, so we can take AR invoice report, okay, which will display receipt details. So but in this one, what we want to demonstrate is like demonstrate about triggers.
Yeah.
So when these triggers getting fired, and we'll also try to have the parameters, the operating unit as well as the receipt number as the parameters. Okay, so let's start from AR cash receipts all. This is AR receipt table, and here we'll have organization ID and receipt number also. ACRA, ACRA cash receipt ID, and amount also will have it somewhere. Yeah, amount,
Yes.
ACRA amount. We'll also have currency code, and of course the status will ignore as of now. Type will ignore. Okay, I think can use. Okay,
Yeah.
receipt number. It is number.
Set.
Yeah, receipt number. Okay, these are the columns. And do we have org ID? I don't think we'll have org ID. Yeah, we have org ID. Okay, so let's display the organization details also. HR operating units and GL underscore ledgers. GL.
Already. Ledger.
Set of books file.
Set of books ID. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
GL dot name. HOE dot name
Name.
and OU name.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a query. So we'll try to pass operating unit ID as well as the receipt number. I mean receipt ID, both things as a parameter. So now what I'll do, and acra dot org underscore ID is equal to p underscore p underscore org underscore ID and acr receipt ID. Okay,
Yeah.
1002.204. That's it.
Yeah.
So this is my query. So let's design, save it. XXIF AR receipt. Now create the data model, report editor, mention the select query. Okay, that's it. So it will validate the query and also it will create the parameters.
Right.
Query 1 got created and group got created as well as parameters also got created. And here the data type doesn't make any issue, so we can just go ahead either with a number or character. It will not make any issue.
Okay.
So let's finish the report, then we can discuss about the triggers.
Okay.
So I'll just quickly design the layout. Receipt details. Take the repeating frame. Take 5 fields. 1, 2, okay, so I'll go with ledger first. F ledger name, then I'll go with OU name, then I'll go with receipt number, then we'll go with what is that, amount, and then currency code. Okay, so let's see, 1002. Yeah, let's run the report. 204 1002. Got it? And this got missed. Why this was missed? Currency code. Okay, maybe I displayed it as currency. Currency is different. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, very simple report. Now let us concentrate on the trigger. So here, if you observe, I'll just close this one. Paper layout, data model, and all those things. Just observe here. We have something called report triggers. So in the report triggers, we have 5 triggers, and it also
Yeah.
clearly mentioned the sequence. By just understanding the
Yes.
name, you can easily understand when this will get fired. Before parameter,
Mm.
after parameter, before report, between pages, and after report. So trigger nothing but, like just now we just discussed that trigger is nothing but which will sense to an event. So based on the event, this trigger will get fired automatically. So for trigger
Yeah.
to get fired, it just requires an event. You cannot manually trigger an event. You cannot manually call a trigger. So based on the
Yes.
event, it will get called automatically. So now here, when you run a report, so you may, whenever we get any report requirement, there are chances your report may have a requirement to consider parameter as an input. In some cases, you will not have any parameter as an input. Okay. So
Okay.
let us say, you want to monitor. Assume that like your requirement is to, like, whenever any report gets submitted, you want to know that who has submitted the request. Or let us say
Okay.
before selecting any parameter, you want to know that, you want to initialize some logic, or maybe you want to call some particular, another program to find out something. Or maybe let us
Yeah.
say after report, when your report got completed, you want to find out, like you want to raise an event saying that, like before submitting the request, you want to call some logic, and after completing the report, you want to call some other logic. So then, so these reports, these particular triggers will get helpful when you want to, when you want to sense your report execution, before execution or after execution or between execution also. So to understand this, what we do is I'll try to create a very simple dummy table and understand how this particular events will get fired one by one. So I'll just create
Okay.
table, save, trig table, okay, and the serial number,
Yeah.
and message varchar to 150, and creation date. Okay, three columns, and also I'll create a sequence. Create right, sequence got created. Now insert
Yeah.
into table values underscore s dot next value, comma, message, comma, sysdate. This is what we want to do it. So
Yes.
we'll just validate our script. Okay, it got inserted. Just validate how it looks like. Okay, yeah. So now what we do, in each trigger, I'll just insert this command. So there is a shortcut. Just place your mouse on that, press F11. Automatically, it will open the PL SQL editor for this one. So now whatever the logic which you write is nothing but a PL SQL. Okay. Now it clearly saying that function, but it is not providing something called create or replace function, because these are not stored program. It's a PL SQL block, but it's not a stored program. Okay.
Hmm.
It's having a block name. The block name is before form, before parameter form, I mean to say.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll just write the logic here, insert into this one, and here I'll just change the message before parameter form, and I'll
Form.
just commit.
Okay.
The same way I'll write in other triggers also. Press F11 after parameter
Form.
F11, and here if you observe, it shows PPP something, right, like this. So it means that we have
Yeah.
entered the content
Yeah.
before report.
Report. Yes.
Generally between pages is not required. Before report and after report are the things which we generally mostly require. Okay, between pages is not required at all
Okay.
generally.
Okay.
Because what do you want to do when reports getting printed? Maybe during maybe if you want to find out for each page, you want to call some some printer, or maybe like a different kind of thing. See, in general you may not have this requirement, but in complex requirement you will come across. Okay, yeah. So let's run the report and again observe. Okay, now can you see, if I am trying to run the report, it's saying that report contains uncompiled PL SQL, means that you have to compile. Control Shift K, it is compiling everything now.
Yeah.
Okay, save.
Yeah.
Now Control Shift R, yeah, 2041102.
I mean,
So as of
one
now,
double zero.
okay, 100.
Hmm.
As of now, we just had only one record, right?
Hmm.
We just had only one record. Can you see?
Yeah.
I have not yet finished running my report as of now, but we got one particular record got inserted here, right?
Yes.
Okay, order by one. Yeah. So the serial number second got inserted. So now I'll just run the report and now try to see it. Now can you see, before parameter, after parameter,
After
before
before
report,
report.
but between pages is not yet called, but try it now.
Yeah.
So here it may not call that because we don't have multiple pages here, right? We don't have multiple
Yes.
pages. So maybe I'll call
Yeah.
this one. Let's see. Right here it is. We could not find out the remaining stuff, right? We could not, like simulate the remaining events. Okay, but if you register the report in the instance, you'll find everything. Okay, so what I will do is now we'll just register the report and understand the triggers. So here like we are just simply trying to insert the content into a particular table. Here I'm not showing the real usage of that. I just want to demonstrate how can you write a logic there. But in real usage, we also will try to design one sample in which scenarios we'll come across this particular thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll register a report now. First of all, copy the report. So designing a report with a global temporary approach is one of the mostly used concept. So in at least, let us say if you have 10 reports, at least 5 reports will design in that way, or maybe 30% of the reports will be designing using that particular approach.
Okay.
Do you know what is global temporary table?
No, I don't know that.
Okay, fine. So concurrent executable. Save it. AR receipt report.
Are we using that global template variable here now?
No, we have not.
Okay.
So to understand that global temporary table, first of all, we have to understand the basics. We have to understand this particular, what you say, the trigger concept. That's the reason I'm discussing
Okay.
triggers before discussing
First.
GTT.
Okay. Already.
It's a tiny-
We can take our value sets also, right?
Yes, we can take.
Again, for receipt ID, again we have to create any value set for that?
Of course, we have to write.
Okay.
The earlier yesterday's value set, it was based on PO number, right? Of course, we can use the
Yes,
org
yes.
one, but other value set we have to create.
Yeah,
Org one,
receipt ID only was the
yeah,
thing.
org one we can use it. Org one XXIF, it was, what was that? Yeah, PO org get, we can use this one. The same operating unit
Okay.
logic, right? We can use this one.
Yeah. Yes.
We can use this. Okay, so I can
Yeah.
select vision operations. What I will do is now, how many records we have? 4 records here, right? Or maybe what I can do is I can just simply delete it,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Table truncated, no data as of now. Now
Yeah.
1102, submit. Now observe the difference here. As of now, there is no data. Okay, let it finish,
Yeah.
right? So we got
Yeah, we got it.
before parameter, after parameter, before report and after report also. But between pages we have not done, we have not received because we just had only single page, right? That's the reason we have not received that between pages.
Yes.
Okay. So the basic concept what we understand from this one is like if you want to call some particular logic
Hmm.
while executing your report, then we can call that.
Okay.
Okay. So generally, like there is a concept called lexical parameters also. We have not discussed that. We'll discuss sometime later. Okay.
Okay.
So next thing what we want to discuss is we'll discuss this one master detail report, and then later on we'll discuss about GTT approach and lexical parameters.
Yeah. And what is user exit and user init parameters like FND?
Yeah. So
SRW, yeah.
there is something called SRW, stands for Standard Report Writer.
Yeah.
So as of now, if you observe, even though if you have not mentioned this particular SRW, it still worked. In some scenarios, it will not work actually. In some scenarios, it
Okay.
will not work. So what we have to do is SRW dot user exit fnd SRW init. This we have to call in the before report,
Okay.
and
Always in the before.
we have to call exit in the after report. So one basic thing is, if you mention these things in your report, it
Hmm.
will not allow you to run the report from your desktop. Okay. If you mention these
Okay.
things, it will allow you to
Hmm.
compile, but execution wise, it will not work. Until unless you pass your report to the instance, and from the concurrent program only, you can run it. Okay.
Okay.
So actually, the purpose of these particular APIs is to initialize your apps. So let us say if you are using any of your FND profiles, then you have to use this
Hmm.
one.
Okay.
Okay. Without that, it will not work. SRW FND SRW init is for the purpose of apps initialization. FND SRW exit is for the purpose of clearing the memory.
Okay.
Okay. That's the only purpose.
Okay.
Yeah. So master detail. So the sample which we have been discussing so far. Now here, if you see the layout, this particular report we call the tabular report, a single table. This is just tabular report.
Even now sound is coming?
Now it is fine, I guess. No,
Yeah, same. Yeah, continue.
yeah. So now the report particular layout, the layout of the reports which we have been discussing so far are tabular reports. Now it is still coming.
What sound is coming? Like, continue.
So now what the report layouts which we have been discussing so far, we generally call them as tabular report. Nothing but the
Okay.
content what we have seen in the output is just a simple table kind of thing, right? Now just if you observe 2041102, it's just a single table, right? That is why it is called
Yeah.
tabular report. Now what we want to discuss is we want to discuss a master detail report. Okay. So in the master detail report, there are different ways of designing a report. We can take example of our AP invoices. Okay.
Okay.
So in the AP invoices, we know that there are multiple tables involved: headers, lines, distribution, and so on and so forth. But we'll try to consider only two levels. Okay. AP invoice. And that's all. What's the table name? AP invoice is all right.
AP invoices all. Yeah.
Yeah. And other one is AP invoices lines all.
Lines all. Yeah.
So we know that what is the link between these two things. Invoice ID is a link between both of the table. Now we want to design a report which will display the invoice headers followed by lines, invoice header followed by lines. Assume that as of now what we do is let us say, okay, in your case now what we do is we'll take the range of invoice numbers for a given selected org ID, and we want to display
Yeah.
all the invoices, like a payable invoices, nothing but invoice number followed by invoice lines, then followed by invoice number followed by invoice lines, like that.
Okay.
Now, so what we do is there are different ways of designing it. So one of the easiest way of designing a report is to go with the master detail approach. So now let us design the query. Let us design the query first. So let's finish the header part first. So AIA, and of course we'll need to consider HR operating unit also, HOU, where one is equal to one, HOU dot org ID. So now AI dot invoice ID. Right? Maybe we can have the invoice type. Okay, invoice amount we require. Right. And let us display the supply details also. So let us finish this first, then we can.
Okay.
Uh, line number 47, HR operating units. Okay, good. Next thing is supply details. AP suppliers, AP supply lines all. Supply lines all or sites all?
Sites all. Sites all.
Yes, A. And A sub dot vendor ID is equal
Vendor.
to AI dot vendor ID. And yes, so it is supplied
Vendor.
site ID or vendor site ID?
Vendor side ID.
You can validate with one particular this one.
Invoice ID.
6 1. Okay, good. Okay. Vendor site name, vendor
Yeah.
site code. So mostly we just
Yes.
got the total header details. Now the next thing what we want to do is we want to show the line number and line details. So what we do is first of all find out what are the important columns of lines.
Yeah.
So where is that lines? IP invoice lines. So in from this one we'd like to display line number, line type, and any other thing. You'll have item details, right?
Yes.
Mm. Okay. I'll just display three columns: line number, line type, and amount. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Invoice AILA, AILA dot invoice, invoice ID, AILA dot amount, line amount, AILA dot line type, lookup code, AILA dot line underscore number. So we'll just
Yes.
display order by line number.
Oh yes.
Order by line underscore number. Okay, that's it. So it seems this is having
Yeah.
only one line number. Maybe we can take order by EI dot invoice invoice number, right?
Yes.
No, yeah. What's the column? Invoice
Invoice.
underscore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Invoice number. The invoice number we have taken. Yes.
Okay. Now just see. Of course, it will take much time because we are trying to pull the data from all over the invoice, all the orgs, right?
Yes. Yes.
So generally, this is not the good thing. Okay.
Directly we can pass our code. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, let it run. Okay. Build the report manually.
Yes.
So now save it. AP master detail and mention the select query. P underscore invoice ID. P underscore org ID.
Here we are selecting range one, right? In output as a parameter.
Yeah, if range required, then what we have to do is, okay, let us do that way then. P
That
underscore org
one.
ID, and instead of this one, and AI dot
Invoice ID.
number between P underscore from this number and okay. So once I'll take these two things. Okay, these are my ranges.
Okay.
204.
Okay.
204 from invoice is this one. To invoices is this one. Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Now I'll take the query. Okay. So it got created. Now the basic thing is we just need to understand the structure. We would like to display like this, like
Yes.
AP invoice headers first, and followed by AP invoice lines. So the same thing should get repeated for each invoice header like this. AP invoice header 2, AP
And
invoice.
AP lines too.
Yeah, like this we would like to display. So this is called generally master detail or child, like what you say, group above, something like that.
Okay.
Group above, group left, master detail, all the things are similar. Okay, logically they're similar, but
Okay.
UI you'll have some little bit different.
Okay.
Now in these both the things, like we just need to understand which need to be displayed for header level and which need to be displayed at line level. So query wise, we just have only one query which is having both header data as well as line data. So we just need to
Line data.
logically we have to divide now. So what we do is the existing query here, just what we do is like I'll try to divide now. Now just expand it properly. Try to understand which need to be part of header data and which need to be part of line data. So I'll take header data out now. Invoice ID.
Okay.
These all things not required actually. What you can do is org invoice ID anyway we don't want to display, so we can ignore also.
Hmm.
But in the header level, what we want to display, we'll expand this one. Okay. So I would like to go with vendor name, vendor site code, invoice amount, as well as invoice number. So these are all part of my header part.
Okay.
Okay. These all things are part of my header part. So this is how it looks like now, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you can just place here. Okay. That's it.
Okay.
Now, so now this observe here, you have different group names, right? So just change the names
Yeah.
appropriately so that will not confuse. Select the group,
Okay.
press F4. Now I'll just say P underscore parent, G underscore parent, and for this one I'll just say
Yeah.
G underscore child.
G underscore. Sure. Yeah.
Okay, and automatically can you see outer XML tag, everything is getting changed automatically. These XML tags will be
Yeah.
helpful when we are designing our XML report concept.
Yeah.
So now let us go with the layout. So design a frame, AP invoice report. Now I'll design the parent first. So generally in this one, what happens is, so how was the grouping? You have a child inside the parent. So
Yes.
you will easily understand if you try to run the report. Now what I do is, okay, so I'll try to generate the XML first, then you can easily understand. Like click on file.
Okay.
As of now, I have not designed any logic. I just add the header part. So click on file,
Yeah.
generate to file, and click on XML. Okay. Now click on save. It will ask the parameter 204.
Yes. And 010204 0102.
This one. Run it.
Done.
Right.
Yeah. The XML has been generated.
Yeah. Now observe here, right? The G underscore parent, right? So how many parents will get
Yeah.
it? Maybe around five, I guess, five or six. One, two, three, four parents we got it. Now just observe here. In the G parent, you'll have one or maybe multiple childs. And in the childs are
Okay.
what you say, encompassed or enclosed. I mean to say enclosed in the list underscore G child, right?
Yes.
And now this
Yeah.
G parent is having one, two, three, four, five, six. One, two, three, yeah, six childs it is having, right? So this particular logic will be very much helpful when you're designing the XML reports. Anyways, now getting back, so org name also will take it at parent level, okay?
Again, you have to generate XML.
Not required. XML I generated to
Not.
just show how it is generating. XML is not required right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is required when you're designing the XML report concept.
Okay.
Now create the parent first. Always create the parent first, okay? Now
Yeah.
for this parent frame, attach the G parent. I'll just here also R underscore means repeating frame. R underscore parent. Now I'll create a child inside it. Inside it has to be like this one,
Yes.
G child, R underscore child. And you can observe everything from left side. If you observe here, can you see, if I click on parent,
Yeah.
this parent will get highlighted. If I click on child, the child will get highlighted. And also sometimes what happens is UI level it shows it is inside, but here if something is wrong like this, if child is not inside parent, it will not work. Always make sure this is also correct.
Yes.
Okay. Now, yeah. So next thing is let us display the content. Yeah. So designing a layout actually time consuming process. One, two, three, four. Okay, four are enough. One, two, and three. Okay. So now in the parent, what all we have? So in the parent, I have org name, vendor side code. Okay, I'll try to display invoice number and invoice amount, vendor name and vendor side code.
Okay.
Yeah. If vendor name. One minute, something happened here. Okay.
Yeah.
F vendor site. Invoice number. I don't know. 1 minute, something wrong.
Okay.
Okay, amount. Okay, invoice amount. So header part is done. So in the child, what we have? In the child,
We are
we
having
have, yeah, line number, line type, amount.
yeah,
Line number,
3.
line number. There is another object layout. Okay, L underscore amount. All the variables whatever you define should be unique across your report. Okay, line amount.
Yes.
Okay, almost done. I think so. Let's try. 204. 01. Okay, so now
Yeah. Got it.
we got it here almost. But if you're here, if you observe, right, this is the child of the first parent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and again it went to the next parent. Then what is happening is actually, if you observe, there is no proper layout. Like in a given page, sometimes it is getting expanded, and sometimes it is not getting expanded. Right.
Yes.
So yeah, so there is an issue in that. So I'll just try to have some display field here which says lines. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, this is my line data. To just observe, to understand this lines data. Now one more thing what you do is, like, there is, whenever you are dealing with master child, always there is a, like, you need to expand. There's an option called expand. So select your repeating frame, press F4. There is something called vertical elasticity or horizontal elasticity here. So always go with variable. Both the things I'll go with variable, and for the child also I'll just say the same thing. Now let's run the report same again. Right, so now can you see the first header
Yeah.
part? I just got the total 6 lines. Second one again 5 lines. First, I mean, the third one line. Now, yeah, where is that? Yeah, only 4 we got, or yeah, that's it. Got it.
Yeah.
So this is how the master detail. Of course, the layout is not good, but still we can do some particular we can just concentrate and try to assign them in an appropriate manner. Because like, there's nothing in what you say, technically there's nothing involvement in the layout stuff, so we just need to concentrate, take your time and design them properly like this. Now, like, check out the boundaries, check out the weight, heights and all those things, and then that's how we need to do it. Okay, so any doubts in the this one? I'll change to courier so that we'll not have an issue. Okay, now the remaining part is registration. The same thing again.
Yeah. Yes.
F4, copy the report first. right?
Yeah.
So mention this. Save it. Now go to system administrator, request group. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
We need to define a value set, but as of now, I'll just take these numbers again.
Okay.
Let's see. Right?
Yeah.
1, 2,
Which
3,
value sets?
4.
Yeah, exactly. We got it.
Okay. Same output we got.
Got it.
Now only thing what we can do is we can just define a value set. So
Yes.
go to application, validation,
Validation set.
let's say SIF. This my I'm using the for organization. We'll try to use the same value set.
Yeah.
Another one, what we require a value set for
For
AP invoices.
yeah,
So here what we require, we just require
invoice ID.
invoice number, not ID. If you want to take a range, how can you consider IDs?
Yeah. Yeah. No, number only. Yeah. Right.
Okay. Just
Hmm.
define this value set. Colon dollar flex,
Dollar flex dollar.
right?
Yeah.
Now let's define a value set. AP invoice number,
Invoice number.
invoices, purchasing or
No.
hmm,
Pay
payable,
payables.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
And now, what's the column?
No,
Invoice
you have
number.
invoice number. Yeah.
That's it. And the where
There
condition.
in PO we have. Yeah. Yeah. Continue. Sorry.
Hmm. Yeah, that's it, right?
Yes. Yes. There in PO we having segment, and we are taking here invoice number. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the only difference. I'm not mentioning ID here. If you observe, I've not mentioned ID. If you want to mention ID, I can just simply mention the same one again. Invoice number itself as the ID. We should not mention invoice ID as ID here. If you mention ID value, what happens is it will pass invoice ID to
Right.
your it will pass invoice ID to your query. We don't want to pass ID to the
Yeah.
program, ID to the query. We want to pass invoice number now because we have considered range.
Mm,
When you consider ranges,
yes.
we cannot pass the IDs, right? Because logically it will become incorrect. You'll not get the
Yes.
proper output.
Incorrect.
That's the reason.
Yes. Yeah.
It all depends upon how do you want to pass, how do you want to pass parameters. So it all depends upon how you design a query. That's what I told you.
Yes. Yes. The same procedure which you are telling right now that can be implemented in a PO with different PO value sets.
That's what. See here now we are implementing the same thing.
Yes. 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 Right.
I'm using the same value
Exactly.
set
Yeah.
for both the ranges. Of course, there are a lot number of
Both the
validations
ranges.
you can apply. If there is no validation required for
Yeah.
your customer, you can simply just go ahead with this particular one.
Yes. Yes. Right.
Can you see now both got disabled?
Yeah. Both
Until
got
unless select the
disabled.
organization, it will not work. Now both got enabled.
Yes.
Let us say,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Absolutely right.
That's it. Now let us say I'll select till this part.
Okay.
Now if you pass, see here I've selected 010204 0237092, right?
Yes.
01024 023 7092. Same thing got passed here. But organization, it passed 204, not vision operations.
Yeah. Name is not considering rather than is accepting ID.
Yeah, so because our query in our query it requires org ID, not the org name. So it all depends upon how you
Yes.
design the query.
Yes.
Let's see.
So that's great.
Done. Okay. See, layout I'm not stressing because like layout it
Yeah.
just requires
That.
some just concentration, nothing more than that. Okay, it just requires
Yeah.
good amount of time. And here
The main is functionality is there.
yeah, technically how do you do it? And remaining you just need to play
Yes.
around. And other thing is like
Yes.
in some set of requirements when you design a report, they want to display
Hmm.
what you say a legal condition, right? Saying that like this is a proprietary, confidential, and for any context
Okay.
of information or some parameter information, right? You may generally when you design a report, always it will have a header and footer, mostly in most of the case.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
now in some scenarios also it will say that like who generated the report, report generation date, report generated by, nothing but who.
Yeah.
Now as a user I have run the report, right? In some reports what happens is
Yeah.
who generated the report. They want to display the user who submitted also. So all these things you can
Yeah.
apply in the photo part.
O-
By
Okay.
default, your RDF reports, the RDF report provides some set of functionality. Nothing but if you want to display the number of pages. Now here let us say you want to display the page number. Very simple logic. What we can do is I'll
O-
just display here
Okay.
page, okay,
Yeah.
of, okay. Now take the fields here.
Okay.
I'll take two fields, current page and total pages.
Yes.
Page one of total stuff, something like that. So here F1 somewhere you'll have current page number. Can you see page number?
Yeah. Page number we have.
Yeah. And the same way here also in F2 I'll just need to apply the page number, total pages. Can you see total pages?
Yeah. Total pages. Yeah. One of two, one of three, like that.
Right, right. And also let us say you want to see the current date, display the current date.
Okay. Current date.
Current date.
Yeah. First option. Yeah.
Now you can display that date. That's it.
Yeah.
Like this. This you can play around. There are a lot number of basic functionalities which are available, and you can just Control Shift K, compile, save it, go to WinSAP,
Yeah. Yes. You have to
copy,
move the file.
and rerun the report now.
Yeah.
Now you understand. Now if you're trying to rerun the report, sometimes it becomes very time consuming factor to enter all the parameters, right? What you can do is click on OK, click on copy, select
Okay.
your previous request, click on OK, that's it.
Yeah.
Submit.
That's all.
This will work
The main
only
things we have to.
this will work only
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
do
This
not
will.
change your parameters. If you have not changed your parameters. If you have changed your value sets
Yeah.
parameters, this will not work.
It will not. Yes.
What happened? Can you see it's not working?
Yeah. Why?
Not working, right? Test again.
Hmm.
So maybe because we have
Yeah.
changed some logic, maybe it is running from cache. Let me retry. Okay. Anyway, we have this parameter section.
Yeah.
Either it not copied properly from our local machine to server, or maybe did I miss copying? I think I copied the other one, not this one. Is it so?
RDF, master child. Only we have one RDF, right?
No, we have one idea, but if you see,
AR received one maybe.
yeah, that's what.
Uh, the
I,
first one you have to copy. Yeah.
that's what I copied the other old one.
Hold on. Yeah.
Hmm.
That's why it's not coming. No, it will be coming. Let's run the report. Yeah.
Generally, in the XML report, you'll have this particular problem. If you have changed something, you have to rerun the query. You have to rerun the report, not just clicking on copy.
Then again we have to upload a template RTF file,
Yeah, let us say
right?
if you have modified the template, and if you're trying
Yes.
to rerun the report, by just simply copying the request will not work. You need to submit fresh again.
Yes.
Yeah, got
But
it.
most of the clients will asking the this one only, right? XML one,
Yeah, they will, most of
rather
the
than
that's what like that's what I told you, right? Most of the new requirements when you design a new report, 95% of the times we'll just go with XML report only. We will not go with RDF at all.
RDF at all. Yes.
I can say 100%, not even 95%. 100% will it will be by default. We'll just go with that one because most of the
Yeah.
time, because there's a new technology and it's very easy to design, and layout designing is very easy in the RTF rather than this way.
Yeah, and user will understand very easily the layouts and everything. Some good looking.
No, good looking wise. Let us say if it is a PDF, both in both scenarios it will be same generally.
Yeah. Okay.
Of course, there are some functionalities which are very much good in the RDF, but we just need to go with the current scenarios, right?
Like
Current requirements.
like in RDF we will not get in Excel format. Like in XML we will getting in XML format data. That is the difference maybe.
See, for client, what output do they require? What is the need of XML, Excel? What is the need of XML data for the business user? Business user doesn't require any Excel data, right?
Yeah.
One basic thing I'll tell you. In
No, no.
the
Okay. Okay.
in the XML publisher report, it supports CSV format, Excel sheet format. We don't have that particular
Yes.
format we don't have that particular format in the RDF.
Yes.
That is one particular thing.
Yeah.
Of course, there are some other concepts behind it, but that is one of the that is one of the SAM stuff.
Yeah.
It's a technology based kind of thing, it's technology bias. And designing a layout is damn easy, right? Designing a layout
Yes.
just require your MS Word skills. It doesn't require any skills at all. But if you see here in
Yes.
this RDF report, it is too time consuming. It will take double amount of time for your for building the query. How much time it takes for designing the layout? It will take more. I mean, double time to that.
More than that.
Double time to that.
Yes.
Not even
RDF
double,
is
more
that.
than that. It will take more than that.
Yes.
Okay? That's the reason I'm not concentrating on the layout.
Yeah. I, we want the functionalities, how it is working behind that.
Okay, let's see the output now.
Yeah.
Right, date, page 1 of 3. Forgot to change this font. 1 of 3. See here, it did not display that because whenever you mention any of these components, make sure that you select the option print on all the pages, else it will not work. Okay. Now whatever the
Okay.
things, I'll just select all the components now. Press F4,
Mhm.
and there's a property called print object, right? Print object on all pages. Select all pages so that it will
All,
get printed on all the pages.
all the pages. Yes.
And you have some option called all but last page, all but first page, last page. There are few information now.
Yes.
Let us say you want to display end of the report, right? So there is something called end of the report. You want to display only you want to display in last page.
Yes.
Let's see that. I'll show you end of the report.
Yeah.
Now you want this to be displayed only in the last page. I'll select
Yes.
F4. Now print object on last page. That's it. Okay.
It is on the last page itself. Yes.
Control Shift K, compile.
And move the file to the server. Master report.
Rerun the report again. Complete it. Check it.
Yes.
Date, pages. Now see here, there's no end of the report. End of the report will be displayed on last page. Correct?
Yeah, we got it.
So
Yes.
these, there are some functionalities which are very much which are very much easy in the RDF report rather than the XML. But we have to live with that.
Yes.
We have to live with the current technology, whether it's hard or not. Who is like how industry is following, we just need to follow that.
Yes.
Okay. So in the RDF,
Yeah.
we have few concepts like format triggers, lexical parameters, and the GTT approach. These three things we'll discuss in the RDF, and then we'll move to XML version.
XML1. Okay.
Okay. Fine then today for today.
Yeah. Yeah. Bye. Bye.